How can a person consistently win in PUBG? How can you, for that matter, reliably win in PUBG? I'm going to drop a few tips for you all today, and I hope you guys will come away learning a few things that you'll be able to implement in your games. I'm going to timestamp the tips as well for ease of access, so let's get right into the battle. This video is about winning in PUBG, not how to be able to kill everyone you see in PUBG. Although being able to kill players does play a part in getting you to achieve that chicken dinner, ultimately it is luck that will predecide your fate in any game. Let me give an example. So I'm going to do this example in Paint because I think it's much more easier and convenient. So let's see. So there's a zone. We have here the white zone, and you're running into the zone. You're at this compound, let's say, and you're running in from the compound into the zone. Now, you're running across a wheat field, and you're out in the open, and sadly, since you're in a solos game, there's going to be, let's say, a guy here, and let's say a guy here, another guy here, let's just say. And they all see you running through the wheat field, and they start firing at you, and you end up dead. You are dead, sad face. Now, you're not Neo from the Matrix. You can't dodge those bullets when there's 4 people firing at you. There's nothing you could have done here. Except there was something you could have done here. This returns me back to the point. Minimize your encounters with players. Avoiding engaging in a battle will always increase your chances of getting into the endgame. If you can avoid every battle until it is just you and the other guy in a solos match, you will have to fight only one player per game. The math checks out. Of course, this isn't the most entertaining way to play PUBG, but what it will do is it will ensure that you'll have the highest chance of winning your games. Let's consider some real-world examples. Remember the open field we just ran through? What if we decided to run around the field instead? We would have a greater chance of survival by minimizing our encounters with the 3 players watching the field. Or 4. Let's say we hear gunfire around 200 meters to our left in a PUBG game. What do? We run into the zone that is straight ahead of us, avoiding the encounter with the gunfire on our left. Or, let's say it's the final circle and there are 2 other players alive other than you. What do? You wait for them to start fighting each other so you can get a fresh pick on the wounded winner of that fight. When you have the urge to follow the gunfire, decide instead to avoid the gunfire. If you're in the late game, trust what your head is telling you and avoid the open spaces. Smaller, closed spaces will lead you to fewer encounters. In PUBG, it's never about killing the most people, it's about outsmarting the fewest. This tip is based on the last tip, to minimize encounters. Drop where you think will be the fewest amount of players near the beginning of the match, and at the end of the match. Let's say we're playing Miramar, and let's say our flight path is something like this. Okay, so it will go this way, we'll start here at the end, and we'll end up here. So, dropping where there's going to be less players. Basically, no one's really going to drop farther than 2 kilometers or 1 kilometers away from the flight path. So, we'll have, I'd say, less players here, less players at this island. Here, because usually less people drop the island. There's going to be a lot of people here in this concentration, in this area. And there's going to be a lot of people here too, because people like to drop Hacienda, Pecado, Minas, Power Grid. I forgot this one too, but they all like to drop there. But where people won't drop is places like these islands here, or if you parachute early on and go here instead, and you'll be able to later in the game, if the zone is, let's say here, you'll be able to flank the players that dropped Hacienda or Pecado. So let's put a zone on the map. Okay, let's say the zone is here. This is the first zone. A good thing to intuit is that there will be more players in this area of the circle than obviously here on this line. Everybody is going to be coming into the zone from the left side of the map. So there's going to be more battles here along the edge of the circle, and way less battles here near the coast and near these mountains here. So minimizing encounters, one would go for the less risky route. And in the beginning, of course, you can't tell where the circle is going to be, but it's always best to drop where there's less players. That way you'll have to fight less and you'll win more games. It's as simple as that. Dropping off the flight path will help you get large towns to yourself. You'll get to loot freely and without stress most of the time. So try it out. You won't be disappointed. Go ahead, try it out. Close this video and try it out. I'm just kidding. This is an obvious one, but needs to be said. Go and practice in the training range. Practice with guns you'll commonly pick up when you first land, like the shotguns, the micro Uzi, Tommy gun, M4. Practice with all of them. Practice until you can naturally maintain a spray. Hell, even practice with shotguns. Yes, practice with shotguns, because shotguns are so underrated in this game, especially when you put a choke on them. That enables them to have crazy range, trust me. Practice makes perfect, as the old saying goes. To train, you'll also need to dedicate yourself to hot dropping for a short time. You'll train your reaction time, your gunplay, and your ability to react to stressful situations. Simply put it, the more you drop, the better you'll get, only don't expect to win. Expect to improve over the long term. One day you'll wake up and you'll be decimating full squads, you just wait. But it takes time. There's no proper way of hot dropping. Just drop where a sizable majority will land and try to get as many kills as you can. You can also try to play one-man squads if you're down for the challenge. Again, don't expect to win, but it will surely help you deal with many players at once. This is an underrated tip, but in order to win, you're going to have to hot drop a lot in order to get a better gunplay, a better sense of where players are, a better sense of what it is to play PUBG and what it is to really know your opponent, really hear your opponent, and react to that accordingly. It takes time. It takes time, okay? You need to put in the time. You need to put in the effort. This is a more of a quality of life tip, but don't spend your whole game looting. Loot until you have that level 2 vest and level 2 helmet. You'll get all the loot you need from other players that you'll run into. Trust me, they'll have plenty. PUBG is not a looting simulator. Go out there and kill and win. I'm serious. I see people spend the whole game looting. They just spend the whole game looting and then they die 30 minutes in. They've wasted 30 minutes of their life just looting, just staring at the floor, picking up random bottles of pills and guns and ammo. They just waste their time. So just loot. 5 minutes. That's all you need. I'm gonna go off script here and say that level 500s are a real problem in PUBG. PUBG doesn't have a true ranking system. I mean, there is a ranked mode to PUBG, but no one plays it. And I'm sure still no one's gonna play it in the free-to-play update that just hit today. But level 500s, what I mean by level 500s is those pro players, those Twitch streamers you see that kill you all the time, that instantly kill you from, I don't know, 500 meters, or it's a squad of Twitch streamers that completely decimate your squad. It gets annoying sometimes, you know. You may be 200 meters away from the Twitch streamer and they start spraying at you from 200 meters with their M4 4X spray, and basically my tip is to try to avoid them, How do you know if it's a level 500? Well, that can be a whole different video, but just use your intuition. If you think they're a good player, just don't waste your time on them. Let the Twitch streamers do their thing. Let the Twitch streamers annihilate themselves like a proton and an anti-proton. They'll just annihilate themselves eventually, and in the end game you'll have a good foundation where you can build off of and eventually win the game. But this is just me ranting, but I believe it's a serious problem, and avoiding level 500s will lead you to greater success if you can avoid level 500s. Usually their players are very colorful too. They like to spend a lot of money on the game, so you'll recognize them. But yeah, avoid level 500s. Good luck, my friend. Stealth can be a very good way of playing PUBG, because I believe that in this game you can have the worst aim in the world, but if you get the jump on the other player, you will win the fight. Simple as that. There are many ways you could be stealthy. You can lay down in the grass in the final circle, or you can practice trigger discipline when you have multiple people in your sights, and that means not shooting at the people, maybe waiting for the right time to shoot them when they're standing still. But anyways, because you could get an even higher advantage by suppressing fire. You practicing trigger discipline will lead to a higher advantage in the end game. Here's a clip of what stealth can give you if you practice it right. Stealth ties into the big idea of avoiding encounters. If you can practice all these tips in your games, you'll always come out a better player than before, even if you don't win right off the bat. You never need to be a 5k hour, level 500 Twitch streamer, FPS god to be able to win, trust me. You just need patience and the ability to pick the right fights in this wonderfully rankless and overly Asian game of PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. Thank you for watching. Subscribe if you want to, and Dire Sheep will be leaving. Peace.